Minnesota Vikings, Justin Jefferson is going to go on the injured reserve list with his hammy. Other teams, a chain from Miami, he might go on injured reserve. They're debating right now, but he's definitely going to lose a few weeks.
Yeah.
Van Der Esch of the Cowboys, he was injured. There's injuries. It just seems to me, well, obviously the Lions, they've been able to, be 4-1 even with their injuries. I mean, no St. Brown, no Gibbs last week. Mosley, we know his situation. Branch, who else? Am I missing? Gardner Johnson.
Yeah.
Look, the teams, all these teams have a lot of injuries. Is it going to be decided, like, who makes the playoffs and seeds by who's the healthiest? And it seems to me, and I may be just prisoner of the moment here, John, that this is happening more the last couple of years than it ever has before.
I don't know. I don't think the numbers, I don't have it in front of me. I don't know if the numbers would support it or not, but I don't think it's any different this year or in 2021 than it was in 2015 or earlier. I think it's just football. It's the game. It's the way it goes. And sometimes guys get hurt. Sometimes they get hurt and they're out for the year. Sometimes it's 2-3 weeks. Like, you just never know. But I think I don't want to say prisoner of the moment, but I think we are noticing it much more this year because we're relevant.
Okay, that's
and we are actually looking at it going, hey, we're 4-1. Wait a second here. What are we going to do without Amon-Ra St. Brown? Oh, wait, Josh Reynolds steps up. Or they hit 7 different receivers. Oh, wait a second, C.J. Gardner Johnson. Remember that day in training camp?
Yes.
And people thought the sky was falling.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, poof, he's back 2 days later, which was a miracle. And then it was, James Houston gets hurt, or Josh Pascal's missing time, or, Vitae is going to be down. We don't know if it's going to be for the season. How long is it going to be? Decker's hurt. Like, all of these different things, we keep thinking the sky is falling because we've been trained for decades that the sky is actually falling.
I know.
But it's not anymore.
I know, but you look around the league, too, and you see, Dobbins out for the year for Baltimore, and the Lions play them.
Yeah, but Dobbins has been out every year for the year.
I know. It just seems that injuries play a huge factor in what's going to happen.
They may not be as tough as we once were.
Okay, so
I'd say that jokingly.
So, Stoney, though, there are, like John says, there's injuries every year.
I know.
You forget about them. But what's the two? I think there's two biggies. Aaron Rodgers, obviously.
Right.
And the Jets, actually, if they want to go call the Vikings for Kirk Cousins,
nice.
It's an interesting conversation. So they could sort of save that for a year. But I think Justin Jefferson now.
Yeah.
And besides that, what's the huge ones?
Well, and Richardson. He's only
potentially, but you don't expect them. They're growing. I think the Jefferson injury has probably doomed the Viking season.
Jalen Ramsey, but they've been able to overcome that, and he'll be back at some point.
Right, and look, anything with Miami's are interested in, and he's been an unbelievable surprise.
Yeah, but it's
Waddle missed a couple of days, or they missed a game. Wasn't that the one that they ended up scoring 70 on Denver?
Yes,
and Waddle wasn't even there.
Correct.
The injuries happen every single year. I think we are just more tuned into it this year simply because we are a relevant football team.
And I think the Lions have been actually considering everything somewhat fortunate.
Yes.
You lost Gardner Johnson and Mosley, where they weren't on the team last year, and the defense has been playing well. They hardly contributed this year, and to me it just signifies that the 8-2 at finish last year was more real than maybe we bought into. That was one of the talking points in the offseason. Were they really 6-4-ish? Did they seem that 8-2 has carried over.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, and here's the thing too, is there actually is a tipping point where you have so many injuries that you're depleted in terms of talent. And we saw it when Kansas City took on Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. It ended up their offensive line injuries probably cost them a chance at a Super Bowl. It happens every single year, but there is a tipping point. At some point, if you lose enough talent, you're going to lose a lot of games. But it's there's one key individual that just simply can't get hurt. That's your starting quarterback.
Correct.
And so far, I don't want to. Do I say it out loud?
No.
I think the Lions could
I
survive
don't want to jinx it.
and be fine and be a playoff team if Goff, Decker, Ragnow, and Sewell stay healthy at this point. I really do. Because that there you have balance in the offense then. I think anybody can run behind this line.
Pretty
Now,
much.
David Montgomery's been fantastic, and he does it better than a lot of people.
He missed a game, right?
But the Lions would be able to, if they had catastrophic injuries at running back, that they'd be able to still go get somebody that could be productive.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think it's that simple. I think St. Brown, they could survive long term. Reynolds, it's been great.
Yeah.
Raymond, nobody ever talks about Khalif Raymond.
No, but it's also being able to spread the ball around to a number of different receivers. That's on Goff.